In this morning's Business Insight, a man who has spent his career dedicated to Cincinnati's past and shaping leaders for its future hit a milestone last week. Dan Hurley, a historian, director of Leadership Cincinnati, and host of Newsmakers here on Local 12, turned 70. Last year, he announced he would retire from his role running Leadership Cincinnati for the Cincinnati USA Regional Chamber of Commerce when he turned 70. And true to his word, Dan is preparing for his last week on that job. We asked him to join us as he begins the week so we could celebrate his work and talk to him about what's next. Dan is with Business Courier publisher Jamie Smith in the studio. Dan and Jamie.
Thanks, Peg. Dan, I can't tell you how honored I am to have you on the show again.
Well, it's great to be back.
Well, they say 70 is the new 50.
Yeah.
And you've won the Business Courier Second Act Award already, which I really think was your third or fourth act. What are you going to do? I know you're not retiring.
I'm not retiring. The way I've been putting it is I'm not retiring from life. Okay, I'm retiring from the Chamber and the two programs that I love, Leadership Cincinnati, Leadership Action. But there comes a time when, you know, it's time for fresh look, and Amy Thompson, who's our new director, is a whole generation younger, and she brings energy, and I think it's great. I'm going to go on, I'm going to continue to do Newsmakers. I've been with this station for 35 years, and it's an incredible relationship. I will continue to do election night. I will continue to write for another publication, which we won't mention. And then I also have two books that are in process, and I need to get those finished.
Wow. Well, you've mentioned most everything you've done, the books, you know, you've taught, Leadership Cincinnati, the TV show, elections. What do you feel out of all of that, what do you think your biggest accomplishment in the city's been?
Well, let me put it this way. The perfect place for me to end up in my career was with Leadership Cincinnati, because in 1979 I left high school teaching for the second time. I had taught 4 years, then left and did 5.5 years of graduate work, then came back and taught high school again for 2 years. And what I had concluded was I wanted to focus my attention on adult learning. And since 1979, everything I've done, whether it's been TV, it's writing books, it's creating museums, it's curating exhibits, whatever it has been, it's all been about how do I help people who have real experience understand their community better and understand the way they can create leverage in a community to influence change. And so one of the, I mean, it all sort of builds on each other, but Leadership Cincinnati has just been a wonderful place these last 8 years, because I could work, you know, when you teach high school, you have to wait 20 years to see if they turn into anything. With you working with Leadership Cincinnati people, they can have an insight, and the next day they can start implementing something new, and it's just been amazing.
Well,
so,
I kind of have to relate it to, it's almost like teaching an AP class. You have people that want to learn, you have people that want to connect, they want to make things happen, and you know, luckily being a member of class 36, the best class.
Yeah.
I got to see, you know, what it did to us, you know, and not just building relationships, building connections, but really connected me to things in the city that I had never thought about. Right. Or maybe not thought about, but had never really gotten connected. Like Preschool Promise, you know, probably one of the biggest things that's come out of Leadership Cincinnati.
In my era, definitely. I think I hope that 50 years from now, people, when they look back and say, what happened during the Hurley era, I think early childhood, Preschool Promise will be the single most important thing. And this city will grapple with this, whether it gets through this election cycle or not, who knows, but eventually we will be there.
Yeah. Well, you know, I asked Mike before in our interview about a crystal ball, and if you had a crystal ball, is it something like Preschool Promise, or is there other issues in the city that you think are the biggest things that need to happen for Cincinnati to be even greater than we are right now?
Well, I think the continuing disparity between those who do very well and those who can't find a rung on the ladder, because our economy has changed so drastically. I truly think that we're going through a period that is similar to what was sparked in 1873 to 1885, the long recession. It took us 50 years to put the industrial economy back together again. That was the creation of the industrial economy in this city. And I think we're going through something similar. So I think we have to really figure out about how people find purpose and meaningful jobs to support their family. That gets expressed right now through the Child Poverty Collaborative and the concern and the fact that we have the second highest rate of child poverty tells us something is drastically wrong and we got to do something about it.
Well, I have no doubt that Leadership Cincinnati is going to continue. Leadership Action has got great starts, and I think those kind of programs are going to help us maybe not solve them right away, but improve those things. So I want to personally thank you for your years of service to Leadership Cincinnati, and I look forward to still seeing you every week here at the studio.
I will be here, and I'll be out there too.
Thanks a lot, Dan.
Okay, thank you.